Now, polls and Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are very much in the news today. And guess who's with us right now in New York City? None other than Trump campaign manager Kellyanne Conway. Kellyanne, we just showed our viewers the Quinnipiac poll, where your guy is 10 points down. I also want to bring to your attention the Real Clear Politics average of polls. He is 6 points down as of now. And that position has not improved over the last 2 weeks. He was 6 points down 2 weeks ago. I'm saying, basically, the new Donald Trump, the softer presidential Trump, is not having an effect on the polls.
Well, these are national polls. Thank you very much first for having me, Stuart,
Sure,
and to your viewers. Those are national polls, and I'm glad to see that at least the bleeding has stopped, because the trends were all downward before 2 weeks ago. So we're very pleased in the last 10 days or so with him giving more policy-laden speeches, with him taking his case right to the voters. Stark contrast to Hillary Clinton, who's talking about him. He's talking to the voters. But
didn't you hope for some improvement? I mean, you're dead flat.
Well, we're seeing it, though. We're seeing it in the state polls. So these new public polls, not even our polls, these new public polls show a 2-point race in North Carolina. He's up slightly in Florida. He's up in Arizona by 5, all just released this week. Virginia, the Roanoke poll showed a 6-point deficit. A poll previously showed a 12-point deficit. So we like the trend lines. We like that he's having impact. We would just, those of us now in control of his calendar, would like him to spend more time in those swing states, taking his case directly to the voters and investing more in the ground operation there.
That was an important word. We have control
of the calendar.
Do you have control of Donald Trump?
There are some things that are immovable. Oh, Donald Trump? No, of course not. Donald Trump is his own person. It's the calendar. The calendar is quite different, and the calendar is my job. He can take care of himself. He's fully capable.
I want to bring to your attention a tweet from Hillary Clinton bringing up the subject of race. Put it on the screen, please, so everybody can see. Longtime Ku Klux Klan leader David Duke supports Donald Trump because they share so many of the same values. Okay, that's pretty strong stuff. He's bringing in the KKK. She is. Go.
I find it to be disappointing and fairly disgusting. This is how we're going to run this race now. Donald Trump has disavowed David Duke. Reince Priebus, the chairman of the party, said he's willing to lose control of the Senate over David Duke's candidacy. And Mr. Trump yesterday was talking to local news in New Hampshire after his campaign stops there. And he talked about how he doesn't want the votes of white supremacists. He talks about disavowing them and what they stand for. But this is all Hillary Clinton has. It's not like she can tell us, hey, it's a good idea that millions more are in poverty, or that Obamacare is a complete disaster, or that I have no policy for energy independence in this nation, or rebuilding our infrastructure, our economy.
She says Donald Trump empowers the white supremacists, empowers the racists by subtly...
And I'm personally offended. I'm the campaign manager of that campaign, and I'm personally offended that that's where she would take this conversation. I found her speech yesterday to be completely mystifying.
That's a Hillary Clinton ad. These people support Trump because they believe Trump supports them. And
what is her evidence of that? I find that to be a disgusting, factually inaccurate statement. And you know, she's showing people who have nothing to do. It was like a half-a-day story that this mass murderer, Omar Mateen's father, this guy, this lone wolf terrorist, calling the Orlando police and pledging allegiance to ISIS as he murders 49 innocent people in a nightclub Orlando 2 months ago. His father is smiling and yucking it up behind Hillary Clinton. It's like a half-day story. Oh, we didn't know he was there. No, he's there because he said in an interview afterwards that she would do what he wants on national security.
Yep. If you're in control of Donald Trump's calendar, will you schedule him to make a speech in the heart of the black community?
We are working on that, absolutely. You can take the case directly to people where they live.
Okay. Immigration. At one point in the campaign, I don't know exactly when, Mr. Trump was talking about a deportation force.
November of last year.
Okay, deportation force. He was adamant on it. He said those words. He's backed off significantly, has he not? I'm not going to say he's flip-flopping, but he's backed away from what he originally said.
So a lot of it is still the same in this way. He's going to build the wall. That's a signature of his immigration plan. That does not change. No amnesty, no path to citizenship or legalization, making sure that we're protecting American workers who feel like they are unfairly competing with some of these illegal immigrants for well-paying jobs. He also doesn't want sanctuary cities. That stops. That continues with Hillary Clinton. People like Kate Steinle's family will have more grief under Hillary Clinton because she's going to continue with sanctuary cities. She's for catch and release. She's for open borders. They're very different on this issue. And with respect to the 11 million or so, what he told Anderson Cooper last night on a different network was, we don't even know what the number is. Everybody says 11 million like it's a fact. It could be 30, it could be 5. We haven't enforced the law in a way, Stuart, that even allows us to understand what we're looking at. So you enforce the law, which is a novel concept in Washington, D.C. Usually they just create more laws instead of enforcing the ones we have. Public opinion says people would like the laws enforced, not layer more laws on top of them. Enforce those laws, and then the bad ones leave. Those who have committed the crime leave. And then we see what we're left with. You know, maybe, and he said last night, people will go home and then they can stand in line and come back the way we all stand in line routinely.
September 26th, the first debate.
Yes. Very excited.
Yes. What's your plan?
1 month from today.
Yeah. Can you give us some inside information on his strategy, the tone he will use, the subjects he will raise? Can you give us a clue?
It will be authentic Donald Trump, because that's who he is, and the voters see in someone like Hillary Clinton, when you try to be something you're not, it looks really.
Is he going to go back to the primary style in the debates, when he just really went after the other people on the team?
Possibly, but certainly on her record. I mean, the reason Hillary Clinton is giving this speech about Donald Trump and not her record.
It's a calculation, isn't it? Does he go after her in a personal way, the way he went after Jeb Bush and the rest of them?
Do you consider Crooked Hillary personal, or do you consider it an implication? No, or do you consider it basically just a reflection of the pay-to-play that existed at the State Department, the fact that you can draw a straight line and you really don't know where the State Department, the Clinton Foundation, and their bank accounts begin and end? But he prepares for this every day by giving these speeches, by reading, by talking to experts. But you're going to see Donald Trump as you know him. It would never be my strategy, Stuart, to change Donald Trump's substance or his style when he's up against Hillary Clinton. I'm sure she's cramming her head full of things. I'm sure she's got all of her friends in Hollywood telling her how to look and where to stand. That's not him.
You are the busiest person in the world. You have 4 children, I think, young children. You're the campaign manager of Donald Trump, 73 days before the election, and our time is up. But we appreciate you being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Sure thing. Thanks very much, man.